fans of all things modern metal were enthralled by the debut of the UK's Cullen Culture. 2 years later, expectations are high for the sequel. Even though it's not our favorite style of music, in our review there's no reason for disappointment. Breakdowns, anger, and a general feeling of heaviness, which goes against the theory that success is achieved through greater commercialization of the sound. In fact, this will be an even more complicated work to assimilate for anyone who is not a fan of abrasive and dissonant metalcore. Our appreciation is reflected precisely because we find ourselves as outsiders to their sound, which otherwise has everything to please the most ardent fans.
A new album from Michael Thompson and his band, and the guarantee that we're in for another solid set of good melodic rock. And that's exactly what they deliver. As much as we may feel that this type of rock no longer has any weight in popular culture, the truth is that it remains a niche market with a strong demand. Thompson is a guitarist with established credits and respected in the music industry, and now also returns the original vocalist Moan Calhoun on an album that can be accused of not leaving their comfort zone, but that does not make less good for that reason.
Second EP by Italian death metal band Throne of Flesh that shows love and passion for old school. Dust comes with traditional values of the style in terms of production but also composition. Fans of all that is rotten and extreme music will find here just that band they longed for. In addition to the 6 themes of Dust, we still have the 4 that are part of the 2018 EP, Dogma, giving the release that album flavor. A flavor that is pleasant, so if that is the band's next step, it will be welcome.
Roger Staffelbach is a name that fans of neoclassic heavy metal will recognize, especially from his work with Artention. This solo venture will really speak to the hearts of those same fans, especially those who appreciate the guitar in the spotlight. Guitar solos galore and luxurious arrangements, where the other participating musicians are no strangers. Steve DiGiorgio on bass, Testament, Sodus, Artention, Ariel Perchuk on keys, Kinzener, and John Macaluso on drums, Malmsteen, Ark, Michael Romeo. For those who can't get enough of this approach and extremely tasteful instrumental music, this really is a must-have release.
It could be in the time machine, but Liber Mud has not been reissued, despite being originally recorded in 1999. It turns out to be the only album of Trom's career, and it's a rather unusual proposition, which only makes it more memorable, as much as that makes it harder for us to describe what the hell is going on here. We have a raw production, befitting an 80s punk/hardcore band, but musically it goes much further than that, despite incorporating some of the values of more traditional hardcore. However, what really surprises is the progressive and alternative chops that make this album something that sounds completely fresh and original. Soif, an 11-minute epic, is the ultimate example of this.
A strong name in Danish power metal that has been gaining ground recently. Bloodlines was something to look forward to and does not disappoint for those who like their more melodic and catchy side, especially after the last album, Epitaph. This one, therefore, follows in their footsteps, as they say in soccer jargon, in a winning team you don't move. Were it not for the good results, and it could even be something negative. However, whether you like it or not, what you have is an album without weak moments and that combines intensity with melody. Lots of melody. Our preference goes to the more metal moments, of course. However, we do not deny that this is another strong album by Pyramaze.
The name alone works as that premise that leaves no one indifferent. This for fans of quality hard rock. After all, we are talking about the voice of Michael Sweet from Stryper and the talent of guitarist George Lynch from Lynch Mob and X-Dokken. Fans who have already followed their career and who already know that the combination of these two giants of the style can only give good music. And that's what we got for almost an hour. Classy hard rock, but far from being a desperate portrait of golden times. It is rather that inescapable quality when talent is omnipresent, something that we have throughout this third album of the duo, and that even without being able to garner the attention of yesteryear, does not fail to impress its fans.
We've had a lot of good bands coming out of Australia in recent times, and although the distance between us is indeed great, the wonders of modern technology allow us to take it shorter and enjoy a fantastic album like this Eye for Eye. After the debut EP in 2018, it was now in 2023 that they released their first album that made a good impact at first listen. Progressive death metal, but far from being predictable or having too much focus on the musical abilities of its performers, being very noticeable that the concern was first to make memorable songs. And that's what they achieve, adding a memorable sense of atmosphere.